So welcome, our brilliant colleague David. We so appreciate your consistent leadership and solidarity. And as always at Setsi, we get all things by giving thanks to the original stewards of the various lands we're on. We give thanks to all our ancestors, all those who toiled without compassion or compensation. We give thanks to all our elders and community stalwarts whose shoulders we stand on as we build, share, and learn together for our collective liberation and sovereignty. So David, can you please introduce yourself to our listeners and viewers and share a bit about your remarkable work, my friend?
Absolutely. Many thanks, Victor, for the invitation to be here. Yeah, like you said, I'm David Thompson. I'm from Algoma District, which is in Northern Ontario, in Sault Ste. Marie, in the city. It's also called Bawating, Anishinaabe for the rapids that join Lake Superior to Lake Huron. And here in Sault Ste. Marie, I lead the Rural Agri-Innovation Network, or RAIN. And I started doing that since 2012. And it was only through, mentors who've poured into my life that I'm in this role, including those heavily involved in community development in our Algoma district. And with their vision, we started 2012, and our mandate is around building a more resilient agri-food sector in Northern Ontario. And a lot of my focus is on Algoma district, but we work in partnership with so many great partners in Northwestern Ontario, Sudbury, Nipissing, Temiskaming, and with our organization, we're essentially a facilitator of networks among entrepreneurs, producers, and processors. We provide access to funding, market development, and also agronomy services. And so we do some assistance with producers and their decisions that they have before them. So that's a little bit about me.
Incredible. Well, congrats. We've crossed paths so many times at various tables, always been inspired and impressed by you and your colleagues' work. So my next question is, what's inspiring you right now? What has you curious, or what's keeping you up at night?
I guess what's motivating me mainly is being able to work with dedicated and creative people in the sector I do work in. Our most recent initiative has been an acquisition of another organization called Harvest Algoma. And so Harvest Algoma is a food rescue and an education charity in Algoma District. And they were set up with United Way with mind to have an impact on food insecurity. And so last year, we had a big fundraising effort in order to get some stable funding for Harvest Algoma, but also for our organization, RAIN, to invest and develop an incubation kitchen for food entrepreneurs. And so it's these entrepreneurs that are really the creators that inspired me, whether it's a women-led kombucha company that we've been working with, a Caribbean hot sauce maker who's has an awesome band hot sauces that you have to try, Victor, and also baked goods like sourdough bread makers, right? And so with support that we provide with funding for equipment for their scale up or market access, right? We do trade show delegations. We go down to Toronto and do things like the Restaurants Canada show, and it's through these types of initiatives that I get a lot of inspiration, and I hope other people do as well.
Incredible. And definitely will try the hot sauce. Yeah, so I give thanks for the introduction to some remarkable entrepreneurs. So my next question is, what challenges and barriers do you face in your work? And what are some of the approaches you and your colleagues are taking to overcome some of these challenges and barriers?
Absolutely. Like I think that you've seen throughout the nonprofit sector is that there's a big shift, right, in the grant opportunities that used to be there for communities. With inflation going up to government purse strings being a bit tighter, there's this growing need within our communities and our organization, as well as other organizations, to develop more sustainable social enterprise models that have an impact, but also are rooted in the community. And so there's a lot of adaptations that are needed within organizations. As part of what we're doing as a team around that, with Harvest Algoma, we realized from the get-go of that acquisition that we wanted to build in social enterprise. It already had a really good social enterprise. It provides meals to a men's shelter through a partnership there. But we are just embarking right now on launching additional products through additional meal programs for communities, and doing that in a social enterprise model for greater sustainability. We've also had to, I guess, shift our focus from certain programs and prioritize more of what we're doing at RAIN. For the longest time, we had a buy local marketing program that we ran for about 10 years. And this year we were like, well, times are changing and we need to get out of this program. We need to find a different partner and a different home for it, because our capacity was a lot more limited with us with this acquisition. So right now we're, shifting that program over to another organization, or maybe a few organizations, to share that load. But I think it's just realizing that, yeah, when these challenges come up, yeah, we have to certainly shift focus because our time is also so limited, right? As sector leaders here.
Thank you so much. So, perfect segue. Do you have a set of key priorities right now in your work you'd like to amplify to our community of practice?
Yeah, I guess our priorities on the Rural Agri-Innovation Network side is more around what we're doing to assist producers and processors to adapt new technology. And now more than ever, there's a lot of change going on in technology, adapting to artificial intelligence, further automations of robotics within operations, and precision agriculture. Right. So there's a lot of these technologies that have been around for a long time, but now are even further accelerated because of labor shortages, because of uh, fertilizer prices keep going up. And so producers and processors, they're very eager to adopt technology. But in our region in the north, they are mainly small, medium-sized enterprises, and they don't necessarily have the funding or the expertise in order to invest in that. So we've been partnering on technological solutions with agri-tech companies, colleges, and universities. One recent example is a project we're doing now with a company called Agri-Tech North in Dryden, Ontario, in northwestern Ontario, and College Boreal. With this project, we were awarded $1 million to the Weston Foundation to develop a new greenhouse that has insulated layers to be able to withstand our harsh northern winter and climate. And so there is a lot of integration of technology with that project that is kind of becoming online very soon. The construction is underway. We hope to have that greenhouse up in May and do some trials around strawberry production in northern communities to address food insecurity in the north. And on the Harvest Algoma side of things, the social enterprise is really a big priority that we're working through, and also governance. It doesn't necessarily have a board of directors, and so what we want to do is set up effective governance structure for Harvest Algoma, because its vision, its mandate, it doesn't really necessarily align with what we are doing within RAIN, but we still realize that sustainability is key. So effective governance is another big priority there.
Incredible, and congratulations on that remarkable project or the new greenhouse framework. I think that's absolutely brilliant. So congrats.
Thank you.
So my second last question, what is your ultimate goal, and what does success look like and feel like to you and your colleagues?
I'd say for us, our ultimate goal is greater food security in Northern Ontario. What success looks like from our standpoint, it has to do with a number of these different stakeholders, right? So with producers, what we want to see is that they have good succession plans, that they're able to realize the next generation can come into farming and to keep the family farm growing and thriving. For the food entrepreneurs that are developing these awesome products, right? We want to ensure that market access that is there and that they're growing to realize how they can grow to meet larger markets for their own job security. I guess another success indicator is like, and this ties in with harvest, is that we have a more efficient food distribution that benefits our community. Like there's a lot of disconnection and a lot of siloing, especially when it comes to food. And so we want to ensure that stakeholders are talking to each other, that we're on the same page of like, okay, that yeah, let's get to feeding our communities in a way that we agree as Northerners, and that we can come together around.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for all those actual insights and the deep introspection. I think whenever I talk to someone in the agroecology or agriculture space, it's always great to have those insights, because we all rely on food producers and processors and farmers and folks that do soil science, all these, but a lot of times there's a lack of knowledge mobilization, knowledge translation, or even just amplification of this very important work. So once again, I applaud all that you do for so many. My last question, do you have any closing thoughts or calls to action for our listeners and our viewers?
Absolutely. For more about organization for RAIN, you can go to rainalgoma.ca. On that website, and also available, you can check out our podcast that we do with NORDIK Institute called the PACSAC Project. And it's all about Northern entrepreneurs, Northern innovators that are adapting to change across the North. And for more about Harvest Algoma, you can go to harvestalgoma.ca and check it out there and donate.
David, thank you so much for your consistent solidarity, your tenacity, and the spirit of self-determination you always bring to every conversation. I appreciate your remarkable work and the work of your colleagues. And as always at Setsi, we close the way we began this incredible session by giving thanks to the original stewards of the various lands we're on. We give thanks to all our ancestors, all those who toiled without compassion or compensation. We give thanks to all our elders and community stalwarts whose shoulders we stand on as we build, share, and learn together for our collective liberation and sovereignty. Thank you so much, David. I appreciate you.
Thanks. I appreciate it.